Now let's turn our attention to the Red Adventure segment this week and catch up with Lawrence Hacking down at the Toronto Motorcycle Show. So Lawrence, in these segments we've been talking about adventure riding, adventure sport riding, and this is great. We're at the Toronto Motorcycle Show before it opens tomorrow.
That's right.
And we've been poking around looking at the Africa Twin, which you can get with DCT Transmission. And I was sitting on this, just killing some time a few minutes ago, this VFR, and I noticed no clutch lever. It's got to be DCT.
That's right, yeah.
Let's explain. Dual clutch transmission, exactly.
Right.
So there's no shift lever, there's no clutch lever.
That's right.
This will shift for me.
Yes.
Kind of like an automatic transmission, if I was driving an NSX, for instance. But dual clutch means while I'm in one gear, the clutch and the next gear are waiting for me. So the shifts are like instantaneous, right?
That's right, yeah. It's a remarkable piece of technology, actually, especially for motorcycles. And it's fairly new, I would say. Mm-hmm. It works great. I rode the Africa Twin with DCT the other day, and I'm amazed.
Yeah.
It has all sorts of different modes you can choose.
Right.
Great number of them.
So you can change how fast it shifts almost,
That's
right?
right.
You can go into sport modes, various
That's
sport
right.
modes. You can also paddle shift it, right?
That's right. You can do it manually as well. It has little paddle shifters like Formula One cars and things like that.
Right.
And you have various, as I said, various modes. The main differences are paved or road use, and then off-road use.
Right.
And then you have a drive mode and then 3 separate sport modes.
Wow, this is killer.
So it's actually, and it covers a lot of bases for sure.
It's kind of like the days of ABS when they introduced it to the journalists, and we all stood there going, I don't know,
Yeah.
ABS, do we really
right.
need it? I just wonder, like how this is going to go over with most motorcyclists, maybe even like the hosts of like Still Standing. I mean, what would they think?
Good question. Why don't we ask him? Hey, Johnny.
Hey!
Come on in.
Hey, imagine
How are
being
you?
here. So you've been listening to old guys talking about DCT. What do you think?
Well, this might sound weird coming from the youngest guy, but it might sound a bit old school, but to be devil's advocate, I'm going to make the age-old argument. Isn't shifting gears part of the motorcycling experience? Isn't it part of the fun? Feathering a clutch, working your own gears. By removing all that, are you not taking away a little bit of, not to sound cheesy, but what's going on between man and machine? You know what I mean?
You make a valid point.
You're sounding pretty old school. Yeah, I think the point is that it kind of allows you to focus on your riding, but I know there's the same argument as in the automotive side, right? There's a lot of people going, I want to shift those gears and be a part of the car, but...
But again, with a sophisticated automation like this, in a lot of sports cars, they're saying you simply can't go as fast now with a stick shift as you could with paddle shifters or
dual clutch trannies.
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Another point is that it's going to help open the market up to people who might be a little intimidated by a clutch.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Riders.
You know what? That's a great point, Johnny. Well, there you go. Well, I guess we'll just have to see how this goes.
And it's a beautiful bike. I'll take one.
Order one up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks for dropping by.
Cheers.